Hello and welcome. Today we're diving headfirst into an invisible world that is all around us and even inside of us. It's a massive, hidden ecosystem of microbes that calls your body home, and it defines our health in ways you might not even imagine. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. This quote is absolutely mind-bending, right? It really sets the stage for just how outnumbered our own human cells are. It might sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but nope, this is our biological reality. So let's put some numbers on this to really wrap our heads around the scale we're talking about. Thanks to some incredible research, like the Human Microbiome Project, we've gotten a peek into this hidden world, and what they found is truly staggering. Okay, get this. For every single one of your human cells, you are hosting about 10 microbial cells. That's right. By sheer numbers, you are more them than you, by a factor of 10 to 1. It's pretty wild. And if you think that's crazy, it gets even crazier when you look at genetics. We are walking around with 150 times more microbial genes than our own human genes. It's like we're carrying this massive genetic library that gives us all these superpowers our own DNA just can't provide. And we're not just talking about a few types of microbes either. Researchers have identified over 10,000 different microbial species living in the human ecosystem. It is a bustling, diverse metropolis living right inside of us. So, what do we call this personal collection of microbes? Well, the scientific term is normal flora. Basically, this is the community of microorganisms that have set up shop on and in your body, and most of the time, they're just living their lives without causing any trouble at all. But that relationship isn't always so simple. Just like any big community, you've got your helpful neighbors, some that kind of just keep to themselves, and then you have a few that can cause some real problems. Biologists break these relationships down into three main categories. Okay, so let's look at these. First up, you've got mutualism. This is a total win-win. Think about the bacteria in our colon. They help make vitamins we need, and in return, we give them a safe, warm place to live. Perfect. Then there's commensalism, where one benefits and the other is just neutral, like the tons of bacteria just hanging out on our skin. And finally, you have parasitism. This is the one we worry about. That's when the microbe benefits, but at our expense, like in the case of tuberculosis. So here's the crucial part. Our health really depends on keeping this whole ecosystem in balance. It's like this constant negotiation. Most of our microbes are helpful or harmless, but that balance is delicate. And if it gets disrupted, well, even our normal, friendly residents can become a real threat. Think of it this way. You have permanent residents in your house, the ones who live there full-time, and then you have temporary visitors who are just passing through. Your permanent flora are those long-term, stable residents. Even if they get disturbed, they tend to move back in and set things right. But we're also constantly picking up temporary flora, the travelers from our environment. Usually they don't stick around, unless something happens to the permanent residents. If the house is suddenly empty, these visitors might just decide to stay, and that's when they can cause some serious illness. And when our permanent flora is healthy and balanced, it does some absolutely amazing things for us. It produces essential vitamins like vitamin K, helps us pull nutrients from our food, and this is a big one, it acts like a biological security guard, physically blocking dangerous pathogens from getting a foothold. But here's the flip side. When that balance gets thrown off, things can get dangerous. For example, if a round of antibiotics wipes out your helpful gut bacteria, a nasty bug called Clostridium difficile can take over and cause horrible intestinal problems. Or think about a normally harmless skin bacteria like Staphylococcus epidermidis. If it gets into your bloodstream through a catheter or an IV, it could cause a life-threatening heart infection. It's all about location and balance. Which brings us to the main event. How do the bad guys, the pathogens, actually make us sick? Well, it's not some random event. For an infection to actually happen, a very clear, predictable sequence of events has to take place, and we call this sequence the chain of infection. I want you to picture 6 dominoes all lined up in a row. For an infection to actually happen, all 6 of these links have to be connected, every single one. You need the germ itself, the pathogen, a place for it to live and multiply, the reservoir, a way out, the exit, a mode of travel, transmission, a way in, the entry, and finally, someone who's vulnerable to getting sick, the susceptible host. All 6 have to fall in order. So let's zoom in on that 4th link, transmission, because this is often where we have the most control. The most obvious method is just direct contact. This is simple person-to-person spread through physical touch. A handshake, a high five, you get the idea.
Then, of course, there's airborne transmission. When someone coughs or sneezes, they release these tiny little droplets loaded with pathogens, and those can just hang in the air and get inhaled by somebody else. This is one of the trickiest methods of transmission to control, as we've all learned.
And finally, pathogens can use vehicles to get around. Now, this isn't direct contact, it's indirect. Think of things like contaminated water or food, or shared objects like doorknobs, phones, medical equipment, you name it. The germ is just waiting on that vehicle to hitch a ride to the next person. Okay, now for the most powerful part of this whole conversation. Because we understand this chain, because we know every single link that has to connect for an infection to happen, we know exactly how to break it. And here it is. This is your toolkit. Each one of these strategies is designed to snap a specific link in that chain. Washing your hands? Boom, you just broke the transmission link. Getting a vaccine? You've just made the susceptible host way stronger. Handling your food safely? You've eliminated the vehicle. Controlling pests? You just removed the reservoir. Every single one of these actions is a targeted stripe against that infection process. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. You are constantly navigating this invisible world of microbes every single day. But you're not powerless, not at all. Understanding the chain gives you control. So the real question is, knowing what you know now, which link will you choose to break today?